Hey everyone, I'm Zan from Felon Fair, and today's video on medieval and fantasy costume building is going to be on pants, trousers, things you wear on your legs. So we hope you find this useful. If you do, please like the video. Please comment down at the bottom with any questions you have, any input or any thoughts that you have, or any video requests for future videos that you may have. And then also please subscribe to our channel so you'll get more videos like this. Now, this video is not one of the more exciting videos we're going to do. We don't have any cool armor, except for this guy. He's just kind of sitting. Be watching, observing me over my shoulder. But no cool armor, no, really interesting, unique historical details. But this is a very, very useful video. So our goal here is not to show you some cool, crazy stuff. It's basically to give you an overview of what's available, some of the things that we found through experimentation, and hopefully it'll allow you to find a good pair of trousers for your medieval or fantasy costume. So the normal disclaimers that we have at every video is, first of all, we're not making any historical claims here. If you're going for a specific historical reproduction, please research that. If you're doing a reenactment, great. This is just some tips, tricks if you're doing for film or a LARP or a cosplay or something like that, just trying to give you some resources. And then two is some of these outfits, we work with some of these companies, definitely, and they provided some of these things for us for this video and for other projects, so I just want to give you that disclaimer. We still are very fair in our reviews and everything, but we want to let you know that we didn't pay for all of this stuff. So that being said, there's a couple things that you want to think about when you're choosing a pair of trousers for a medieval or fantasy costume. First of all, is functionality, right? So it's got to be something that's going to stay on somebody, that's going to fit right, and that's going to do everything you need it to do. It's not going to fall apart, anything like that. So that's kind of the premier thing you need to be thinking about. The second is how much of this is actually going to be seen. If you're wearing a long tunic like our Felon Fair Ranger tunic, or if you are have a long coat or something like that, or even a long cloak or surcoat, you may only see this much of the trousers between the top of your boots and where your tunic comes to. So you may not actually need a super expensive pair of trousers or anything if all you're going to see is this much fabric, right? So that's just something to think about. Is this something that's going to be a centerpiece of your costume, or are you going to have a very short tunic and you're going to be wearing shoes and you're going to be seeing, 2 feet of fabric and all the detail and glory, or is it just going to be something that's just going to kind of be hinted at? So that's something to think about. The other thing, obviously, to think about is the style. You want something that's going to look like it belongs in your world, that looks like it fits with your aesthetic, whatever that is. So you want to make sure that you're not wearing something super baggy when you should be wearing something more tailored, skinny, thin, and vice versa. So when it comes to what's currently available out there, there's several costume companies, or medieval clothing companies rather. Costume really isn't a good word. They are medieval clothes. So there are medieval clothing companies out there that make some good products. There's also some just available kind of just online from kind of random companies, and then you can also kind of retrofit even modern trousers, and we found this is very useful to suit your purposes. So to kind of start off, the first type that we're going to show you is just what's readily available on places like Amazon. So for example, this is a pair, if you type in like Viking medieval pants, so there's a type of the kind of like the Roos Viking pants that have this lacing up the leg, which is actually really cool. It adds some cool dimension, especially if you don't have long boots. It's kind of interesting. And they have a somewhat baggier leg. I think these are like maybe 30 bucks on Amazon. They're a pretty good deal. I've worn them several times. They're kind of cheap cotton, but they actually have kind of a nice texture to them, so it's actually pretty useful. And yeah, so this is a good, cheap, inexpensive, well, I say not really cheap, inexpensive version that you can get on Amazon. I think I've bought 4 of these, and I only had a problem with like 1 of them. So you are kind of rolling the dice on that, but so it's a pretty useful product. Another thing that I like is these are actually modern men's linen pants. They're about $40 a pair, and I love them because they have this nice, rich linen coloring and texture. I've got a pair of these in blue and natural and this green. And now there's some pluses and downsides. The pluses is they have pockets, they have a front flap, a button, they have elastic waistband, a lot of great things. Now, if you see any of that in a medieval costume, that's obviously a problem. So you'd have to wear this with like a long tunic that would cover up that waist section and everything. But otherwise, and you can tell it has kind of a obviously some, and all of these, by the way, are machine stitched. We're not talking hand stitching here. If you're into the whole it's hand stitch everything, great. Then you probably don't need to be watching this video because you probably know way more about this stuff than most other people. So anyway, this is another great option. We'll have links for all this stuff below. But yeah, a lot of times if you just find a really great fabric and all you're going to see is this much between the top of a boot and a tunic or a cloak or something, then by all means, just get modern pants. There's no need to go through the whole hassle of getting medieval pants when modern ones will work just fine and all you see is 4 to 6 inches of them. So this is a really, really great option. Now, there's a couple other companies out there that make pants, and Medieval Collectibles, or you can get them through Medieval Collectibles in the U.S., but Epic Armoury is actually the one that makes them. And this pair of pants right here, this is just like their basic medieval pants. I actually, I one time tried to design like a pair of medieval pants. I was like, what are all the things that I would want in pants? I would want pockets. I'd want drawstring. I'd want it to be able to draw at the ankles. I want reinforced knees. They literally, I got a pair of these. They literally have all those things I designed. I literally like designed the same pair of pants they designed. So like good on them. They obviously knew what customers needed. Got reinforced knees. It's got pockets. It's got a drawstring. Got a drawstring at the legs. The only downside of these is I think I can only get them in like black and tan or something like that. So very limited color. Oh, and a green. There's like a sage green that you could get them in. So but they do have, they're cotton, but they do have a nice rough texturing to them. So, yeah, I mean, if these came in more colors, these would really be a awesome option. And they still are if you need something in tan or sage or like black, I think. So, another option that Epic Armoury has is they have their own version of like the Roost Viking pants. I think these come in black, tan, and brown. Once again, these are great pants. They are really, this is the size I wear. You could see it could kind of swallow me. So obviously it's meant to draw string and it gets really tight, but I've had some people get these before and be like, whoa, these are way too big, and you just have to, they're supposed to be baggy, they're supposed to give you a lot of room to move around in, so just know that. If you get these, they're going to be like this, but like I got a pair of the smalls and they're actually shorter as well, and I definitely can't wear the smalls. So these are like the medium/large. I can't wear the small /XL even though I wear small in most trouser sizes. So just be aware of that. The sizing can be a little funky, but they do work if you're willing to cinch them up and that sort of stuff. So this is very similar to that other pair that I got on Amazon, just different colors. Also, it's a slightly sturdier material, so just know that. Now, so Amazon is probably the less expensive, and Epic Armoury kind of there in the middle. And then on the more expensive side, you have Burgschneider, who has a lot of really cool products. They do mostly wool and kind of this uncombed brushed cotton look. So this is a pair of their cotton trousers. So these are the Thor's trousers. Now, if you're going for a Viking look, that sort of thing, these are really, really awesome. The downside of them is because they are based off a medieval Viking pattern, but because of that, they only fit certain body types we found. So, for example, I can't wear these. Basically, if I can get them around my hips, then they're way too big for my waist. And if they fit on my waist, I can't get them over my hips. So it kind of depends. So these may not be that good for ladies or for people that have, do a lot of squats. But, other folks, it may work well. Especially if you have a thin waist, it's maybe not be that great. And you also have to have a belt or a drawstring you have to put through these belt loops to wear them. And they have the funky little weird square butt thing. So, but like I said, they're accurate. They're made off a Viking pattern, so that's pretty cool. Like these other things are more. Well, the Roost Viking pants are made off a Viking pattern, but for the most part, they're just kind of general pants. So this is pretty cool if you're going for a real Viking look. Now, Burgschneider also does those in wool. So this is the same thing, just in wool. Once again, another good option. They're great options if they fit you. If they don't fit you, then they're kind of not that great an option. So just know that. But one thing that I do appreciate about Burgschneider is they do take some attention to their fabrics and stuff. They do have cool texture to their fabrics. I have found that you need to wash them a bunch. One, because the dyes bleed really easily, so I like that. I like them to be more worn and the dyes come out, but you definitely need to wash them by themselves so that you don't. I've definitely made a lot of things pink by washing brown Burgschneider stuff in them. So just know that. But we get a ton of stuff from them, so definitely like them. The last option, and I'm sure you guys have seen versions of this sort of stuff, is things like leggings. So they come in 2 legs. You wear them. You attach them to kind of a belt or a rope around your waist. Leg goes in there. You can see we've worn these a lot. They've got nice knee weathering on them. And this, I really actually like this gray. It's got great wool texturing here. Pluses to this is, well, it's cool. It's authentic. They're easy to change out. It's cool because you can, if you want the look where you have 2 different colored pants legs, you can actually get 2 different sets and put one on each leg. That's pretty neat. The downside is you have to have another pair of pants, or I mean, if you want to wear the big diaper underwear thing, or you could wear your SpongeBob boxers. I don't know. It depends on how on what you're okay with displaying. But that is another option, is to wear a more legging style. We're going to have links for all this stuff down in the bio. This is not an exhaustive list of trousers, but this is one of the questions that we get the most, because at Felon Fair we sell cloaks and tunics and that sort of stuff, but we don't sell trousers. Why? Because we hate making them, and honestly, they don't matter that much. You see this much of them for 90% of costumes. So we're letting other people that are better at that do that sort of thing, and they've done a great job. So there's some great options out there. So we hope you found this useful. If you did, like I said, please like, comment, subscribe, and check back every week for new videos. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.